Hi, we're Chris and Susan Beasley, chrisandsusanbeasley.com, and we are at the end of day one of Tom Breeze's Video Mastery weekend workshop. Absolutely fantastic day we've had today, and sitting here with us is Tom Breeze himself and one of the speakers, Justin Teo, and we've got a question for them.
We certainly have. Well, what we'd like to ask both of you, and I'll start with you if I may, Tom, is
Go for it.
A couple of really good tips for someone who's just started their online internet marketing business.
Okay.
They've decided that, yeah, they think video marketing is going to be their way of attracting traffic. What would be a couple of really cool tips to help them get started?
Okay, good one. I think one of the first things you need to do is basically get going with it. I think one of the biggest errors that people make is that, oh, it's got to look really good, and it's got to the audio's got to be really good, the lighting's got to be really good, what camera do I use? All these questions come up. The thing is, it can be as simple as a Camtasia video, like a screen capture video. It can be as simple as just getting a quick flip camera or whatever it is, just get yourself going. And although it might feel uncomfortable the first time you do it, you'll realise that when you watch yourself back, you might actually surprise yourself and think, actually, that looks quite cool, that looks quite good.
So does practice make perfect?
I think, well, do you know what? I think practice does make perfect, but as long as you're practicing in the right way. If you practice the wrong things, then you'll get worse and worse, obviously. So I think that I think it's a case of the first time you do it, you'll probably hate it, and fair enough. I know that when I first did my first video, I absolutely hated it.
Absolutely.
But then I did a kind of I learned my script almost for the next video I did, and that was when I got a huge conversion rate on my first website, and that's what got me into video marketing more than anything else. And I realised that it can be just get that one bit of presenting looking good, and you get one video looking good, and that can make the difference between really a failing business and a succeeding business, because it's that one step of that opt-in. If you can get a real high opt-in rate, then you can then start realising that video can be a really good video for a conversion video. So someone actually says, okay, am I going to buy this program or not? I have a really good video there. And people say, okay, yeah, I'll buy that. And if your conversion rates are much, much more improved at that point, then you can have a real successful business. So the first step, I think, is just to get going with it. So I hope that answers your question to begin with.
Can I be really cheeky and ask one more thing?
Go for it.
What do you think about having video on your website?
Do you know what? I think a year ago I would have said it's really beneficial to have video on your website. I think this year, I think it's essential. I think that the number of times you go to a website, I think it's become expected for someone to get there and see some sort of video. It can be you presenting there. It can. I'm not a massive fan of Camtasia screen capture videos. Right. I think they're useful, but the first video you want to connect with someone. You have to be in the picture. And so people say, well, I've got a face for radio. Well, if that's the case, get out there anyway. You're still going to have friends. So yeah. So it's a case of just getting on the, getting there, being seen to begin with, because it's all about being known, liked, and trusted. I mean, earlier we were speaking about the good guys and the bad guys. In any industry, there's always good guys and there's always bad guys. In anything you do, there's always genuine people that really care, and there's people that don't really care as much. And that now is becoming exposed. It used to be a few years ago, people get away with it and be great salesmen, and you buy the products and stuff, and okay, the products might be good, but you don't get a connection with that person. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube have changed that game completely. And more social media sites as well. I think nowadays you get to know the person, and we only purchase from people we like. We do business with people we like.
Absolutely.
We might be able to make that first sale with someone we don't necessarily like that much, but you're not going to do business in the long run. And I'm thinking, well, if you're going to build a business that's sustainable and for the future is going to be good for you, then I think what you need to do is make sure that business is you, and you're integral to that business, and you have really good relationships with your clients. And I don't think there's any better way of doing that rapidly than using online video. So it's become completely essential, I think.
No, totally agree with that. May I just ask Justin a couple of questions now?
Legend, by the way, legend.
Absolute legend. Justin was one of the speakers here today. He came into, well, tell us your story. Tell us when you came into internet marketing and what you've done with video, because I think that will really inspire someone who wants to get started.
Sure. Well, I started internet marketing exactly 1 year ago, May 2010, but I started with CPA stuff and made a fair bit of money with it, but to cut a long story short, at the end of the day I wasn't really building a business. I was building someone else's business. I was sending leads to someone else so that they could build their business. I was getting paid for it, but at the end of the day, if they deactivated the campaign, or if my accounts got banned or whatever, I'd have nothing to show for it. So yeah, this year I sort of started with the Six Figure Mentors, and yeah, in January I started with my blog.
This is so cool.
So less than 5 months ago, you started your blog.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and for me it was a really big step because, you know, I was very underground before. Didn't have the belief that people would want to read my stuff or to watch my videos. But yeah, and then I went to this mastermind group, and the leader of the Six Figure Mentors mastermind for the London group is actually in the room right now. His name's Derek. G'day, Derek. Yeah,
I need a flip camera. Yeah.
You're still here.
But yeah, at this mastermind meeting, we were all challenged to, you know, make a YouTube channel and upload a fair amount of videos. My challenge was, in fact, the least amount of videos. It was only 8 videos. Everyone else uploaded 15, whatever. But so in that month of February, I uploaded 8 videos to YouTube and had a decent YouTube channel going. And actually, I didn't mention this before, but one of these videos was sort of noticed by one of the gurus from Six Figure Mentors. His name's William Debauche.
Oh yes, I know William.
And that's kind of how this interview thing started, because he you know, messaged me, gave me props, and I just said, hey man, you know, can I interview you? And he said, yeah. And then all of a sudden I just told James, hey, I'm going to interview William. James was like, hey, if you're interviewing William, you're interviewing me. I was like,
So cool.
so yeah, I went back to the mastermind, and for March, the challenge was for me to interview 5 experts. I ended up interviewing 14 experts.
Fantastic.
And yeah, last month in April, I put all these together into a product which was called Sneaky Video Marketing Secrets,
Fantastic.
and it was approved by ClickBank.
It's absolutely awesome, Justin.
It's a
I cannot
fantastic
believe
start,
that.
isn't it? You know,
That's
5 months
amazing.
into video, and you've made a product, you've interviewed 14 gurus. I guess they're all gurus in video marketing.
Yeah.
And
And
you know,
it's
you're making
completely-
money online, so that's absolutely
So what would your biggest,
fantastic.
just one really great little tip for someone just getting started watching that?
Yeah, the biggest tip is, and all the gurus that I interviewed have said this, and Tom alluded to this earlier, but it literally is just to go and do it. You know, a lot of people, there's a lot of different barriers that people sort of have with getting online. You know, some people think it's a bit too expensive, some people think maybe it's a bit too technical, but the truth is everyone's got a phone, everyone's got a laptop with a webcam on it. It's easy, and you know, I'm sure everyone knows how to upload stuff to YouTube. If not, I'm sure they can learn. There's videos on YouTube that only take 2 minutes which show you how to do it. I guess the biggest thing is probably just people are sort of scared of getting in front of the camera, and that was a really big barrier for me as well. But you know, I guess, you know, there are whole different ways to get over this, but you know, as one of the gurus that I can't remember his name, which is really bugging me at the moment, but
No comment.
you know, he said to me, you know, just go and do it, because how else are you going to be an online video marketer? Yeah, you can't be an online video marketer if you don't have any online videos. So, you know, literally go, take action, break the rules if you have to, because it's so important that you get that very first video online. You might know, because someone's told you, it's bad to make a video that's scripted, or, you know, that is too long, or that has rubbish lights or whatever, but you know, the big thing is just to forget about all that, get over it, just get it up online and get your channel started.
Fantastic. So our favourite expression, just do it, I guess, sums it up.
Well, I love the fact that we both said it at the same
Yeah.
time, because I think it is so important that people get that. People get the idea that, look, no matter, because, do you know what, I think that your character's going to come across. If you're comfortable on camera, or if you can get comfortable on camera, and you bring your character across, that's the most important part. If you get a video up, even if it's not the best video in the world, people are going to watch it and get to know you, and that's what's going to be really powerful. And I think that what ends up happening is that although you know that you can, once you've created a video, you can turn it into many more videos, you can get interviewed, you can, so it makes you feel more relaxed, like we're doing now. There's so many things you can do after you've created that video, but you can't do any of that without a video. So I think get the video done, and then look at things like keywords and optimizing your video and SEO and all that sort of stuff. From that one video, you can get so much traffic, and it's real high quality traffic. But as we both said, it's like the first step is just get going and do it, and that's the most important thing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. You've given us a lot of inspiration, and I know for ourselves personally it's going to be fantastic, and for the guys that we work with as well.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So
Cool.
thanks very much, guys.
Pleasure.
No worries. We're going to have to do
Thank
full
you.
handshakes now, so
Thank
it's
you.
really tough. But yeah.
Thank you.
I'll do you. Good stuff, those guys.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.